Lauri Markkanen, one of the bigger names expected to be on the market net this the market this summer. I'm sorry to start the video off that way, but Lauri
That
Markkanen
was an outtake, by the way.
That was an outtake. I will not cut this one, so everybody can see how ridiculous I am. But Lowry expected to be on the market this trade deadline. See, now I'm all out of sorts. This trade deadline, Lowry Markkanen is expected to be available. We've got an update on where he could wind up. Could it be the number one seed in the Eastern Conference, the Detroit Pistons? And what do the Jazz want in return? Plus, LaMelo Ball, we've got an update on the trade front for him. I am Trevor Lane, somehow, some way, making it through this intro. Make sure you do subscribe right here to the channel. Turn on those notifications as well. Guys, we would like to hit, if you've seen our numbers, we're doing great. We are blown away by how many people have been supportive of this channel, but our goal is to hit 40,000 subscribers by 2026. That's what we're looking to do. If you guys can help us out, hit that subscribe button and help us get there. Joining me is Donnie Freeman, suffering having to listen to me. Thanks for being here, Donnie.
I thought you were going to say I was suffering from the stuff from the first videos. If you haven't seen it, no words.
In order to get that joke, you have to listen to the video prior to, or watch the video prior today to earlier today on the trade front with the Sacramento Kings, Keon Ellis. Donnie is going through some changes right now, everybody.
Oh my God.
So the Detroit Pistons, the pleasant surprise, number one seed in the Eastern Conference right now. They have been absolutely fantastic. And according to Jake Fisher, they are a team that's expected to be aggressive. Now, have they been so good that they can just say, well, we don't need to make a move? Well, it sounds like a move would not necessarily be for Malik Monk. They're not being linked to him anymore after being linked to him quite a bit over the summer. Now the Pistons saying, okay, we probably don't need a player like Malik Monk. However, could they set their sights higher? Many have wondered aloud, according to Jake Fisher, whether their 14-2 start could cause Detroit to push chips into the middle of the table and try to win a wide open Eastern Conference right now. They do have disposable salary, luxury tax, wiggle room, and draft capital to go big fish hunting, which means Lauri Markkanen could very well be in play for them. Do you like the fit of Lauri potentially in Detroit running alongside Cade Cunningham?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I actually like the fit with Lowry alongside any like star lead playmaker. I think he'd be amazing as a finisher for most of these teams.
I like that. The finisher.
Oh my God. That's such a deep cut. I would have never thought of that one.
Come on.
This video is 3 minutes in, and we've already done this like 5 times. Trevor.
The Finnish flamethrower right here. Even Jake Fisher's in on it. Let's go. Let's go. Dad puns for everyone. Okay. So we've got Detroit looking to potentially add. They have been looking for kind of a bigger wing. They were interested in Naz Reid, Miles Turner, Santi Aldama, but Jalen Duren has been so good. Maybe they could get a guy who's more of like a 3-4 than a 4 or 5. Like there's a lot of 4 or 5s they're looking at there with, especially with Naz Reid. Could they go for a 3-4 in Markkanen? Perhaps that could make some sense. The Pelicans pursued Markkanen when Trajan Langdon, who's now the lead decision maker with the Pistons, was with the Pelicans. So there are connections here linking Markkanen to Detroit. However, here's the problem. The Pistons have to pay Jalen Duren and Ausar Thompson. Maybe that's a concern, but the Utah Jazz would almost certainly want Ausar Thompson in return if the Jazz do trade Markkanen to the Pistons. If you are Detroit, should they consider parting with their Thompson twin in order to get Lauri Markkanen?
No. 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 I actually think Ausar doesn't get talked about enough. I think he's extremely close to his brother in skill wise, but his brother gets all the notoriety, and I understand it, right? He's played.
Alman is better.
Yeah, I think Alman is better. I just don't know if it's like he's exponentially better. Like I think Ausar is really, really, really good, and it has a very high ceiling too. So I would be holding on to him for sure.
So if the Pistons, if it comes down to Thompson or bust or no deal, you just say no deal?
Well, the thing is that I understand that it's open right now. This is the same thing with the AD stuff that was out there, right? I understand that the East is open and all that stuff, but your runway is long. Your guys are 23, 24. Like you've got so much time. You don't actually have to rush it. I could maybe understand if like, they were already like, I understand they're having a great season, but I can maybe understand if they had like a Wemby or something like that. Maybe I'd have a different tune here. But Cade is amazing. Don't get me wrong. But I think that their runway is long, and I think they could be a power in the East for a number of years here. And I also think that no matter what they do, I don't really see them beating OKC in a series either. And like I said last time we talked about this, I don't think you can operate from that standpoint, because if that's the case, then every team should just say whatever, give OKC the chip.
Every team just tank and
exactly. Like I don't think you can operate that way either, though. But I don't know if you need to go out and get a guy that maybe if marketing was like 26, 27, but he's what, 30? So like I don't know.
I think Markin is 28.
He's 28.
I'll double check on that, right?
Well, then maybe that's a little bit younger than
he's right there on the edge. Lauri Markkanen right now is 28.
Okay, so maybe I'm a little bit more open to it if he's 28, but I still don't want to give up Thompson.
I guess my question is this: if you're talking about like a Wemby, obviously Wemby's not going to be available, but if you are Detroit, should you preserve your assets solely for like a Giannis level player?
Yeah. Well, right? With Wemby, I was saying if you were talking about the Spurs.
Yeah.
Like
you're talking about adding to the Spurs. Right.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
So I think the counter to the idea that the Pistons have this long runway, and I think on paper they certainly do, it is the Thunder who are the reigning champs, but not this year's Thunder, but the Thunder from years ago who went to the finals against the Miami Heat. What was that, 2012?
Yep.
When they went to the finals against the Heat, everybody said, well, shoot, they didn't win it this year, but it's okay. They'll be back. They'll have plenty of opportunities with this young group, and then they never got back. So sometimes you have to take your opportunities when they're there. What's interesting is that Thompson is actually a net negative on defense this year. I buy into more that's just the muddy waters of the early season and a small sample size, because he's been such an excellent defensive piece. They've been better defensively with him off the floor than on, the Pistons have. But I just attribute that to the Pistons defense is good, and Thompson just maybe was on the floor during a couple of runs or something. I think that number will normalize. But yeah, I think it's a tough call if you're Detroit, if you're going to go all in to try to win right now, because you might have to make some very difficult decisions. Now, that said, if it's not Thompson, and the Jazz, of course, are known to drive a hard bargain, and maybe that means they're not the team the Pistons should be trading with to begin with, because if I am the Pistons, I'm looking to see, well, even if it takes us out of the running for Lauri Markkanen, what can I do with the expiring contract of Tobias Harris? What can I do with the somewhat unique contract of Duncan Robinson, who's only $2 million guaranteed after this season? So that's really essentially an expiring deal. Not that they should necessarily move these guys, but what can I do with those types of pieces before I'm going to go part with Thompson, before I'm going to part with Ron Holland, with Jalen Duren? Yes, we're going to get expensive, but there's some real young talent here that can offer sustainability for this team into the future. So what can I do with other pieces that are not those guys? And does that mean we have to take a lesser player than Markkanen? That may be more than fine for them to go and do that if it means hanging on to their young players.
Yeah, and that's part of it too. Like, I understand the caution around the old OKC team, but they ran into some buzzsaws, man. And they had an opportunity in 2016 where they blew that lead, and that was their best chance to get back there. But even that was post Harden, because they had traded away Harden by making the decision to keep Serge, I believe. But I don't know if I understand that being a cautionary tale, but they ran into literal dynasties. Like, I don't know if that's exactly the same, because I don't expect that to happen in the East either.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, well, there's just this insurmountable wall that you can't get through of a team here. Now, I understand OKC would come out on the other side of the bracket. And again, that's the problem with this. But I do think that their runway is pretty long, right? But
you know what?
Get a Giannis, then
we spent all year last season expecting the Celtics and the Cavs to come out of the East, and neither one did.
Yeah, exactly.
You never know what's going to happen. As good as OKC is, and are they likely to come out of the West? Yes. Nobody's going to pick against them to come out of the West right now. They're killing everybody. And even that's an injured OKC side. But you never know for sure what's going to happen in the NBA.
Yeah, absolutely. So Maybe that's more argument too. While you're right here at the top of the East, you guys are looking amazing. You're getting Ivy back as well. He's about to return. So that's another piece too. Maybe you just go for it.
I mean, I could see at some point they will get. You got to pay Holland, you got to pay Thompson, you got to pay Ivy. You know, these guys will get expensive. You got to pay Jalen Duren this summer, like
all-star Jalen Duren.
All-star. He probably will be. I mean, he's playing great. He's killing. He's been fantastic. So, like at some point, yes, you're going to get really expensive. At some point, you may have to make the decision here. But OKC is also the cautionary tale. When you make the decision before you need to, you wind up trading James Harden for Kevin Martin, right? Like that's the kind of stuff that you wind up doing.
Yeah.
And so I think Detroit is in a great spot in that if the right deal is there, they have the ability to make that move, but they don't have to. They don't have to. They can say we're also in a position where we can keep going like we are and we can win right now. So it'd be interesting to see what they do ultimately. I love Markkanen and his fit with Detroit, but if the asking price is you got to give up Thompson, man, I'd hesitate on that. That'd be tough for me if I'm the Pistons to make that move.
Yeah, for sure. And with Thompson, like I said, I think he's got so much potential. I understand again why Amen gets all the notoriety. I do. Sure. I just think he's not talked about enough. Thompson over here. He does what he does in a far smaller role than his brother does, much less minutes. I think that he's going to be great for them. And that he obviously, I mean, these guys were drafted consecutively in their draft a couple years ago. Like he's obviously a high lottery talent. He's somebody that is on the Cade timeline. Cade has come into his own as one of the best point guards in the NBA. I think he really came on strong, especially last season. And they've got something here for sure. So like I said, you could make an argument either way. I personally would just stay the course. I do understand they're going to get more expensive, but maybe there will be some opportunities in there for them to pivot to trading for certain guys. But if it ain't broke, I don't think you need to fix it personally. They're what, 12-2? Just keep it going, man.
All right, let's talk a little bit about LaMelo Ball and the trade front with him. Could the Hornets ultimately move on from it? I think they probably should. But first, let's give a shout out to our sponsor. That is Sleeper. They do a fantastic job. I want to show you guys some picks that I made for tonight's game. But you can get a 100% match of up to $100 when you use code Bulletin with Sleeper. The link is in the description down below. Great presenting sponsor for our channel. We definitely appreciate them. I did go with Lauri Markkanen over 26.5 points against our Lakers tonight. They run the ball to him a lot. I also took the Luka Doncic free square and LeBron James more than 6.5 assists. He had 12 last game. I think LeBron continues to dish in this one tonight. So that's what I'm looking at right now. For Sleeper, again, get a 100% match up to $100. Use our code Bulletin. Link is in the description down below. Go check them out. Donnie, let's talk a bit here about LaMelo Ball and the situation with him with the Charlotte Hornets. He had a response. He called Kelly Iko a clown, who for Yahoo reported that LaMelo Ball wanted out. Jake Fisher says, well, I wouldn't go that far. Jake Fisher says that while LaMelo Ball and the Hornets may not be ready to part ways right this second, the general belief around the NBA is that the Hornets will ultimately get there by the trade deadline. But Jake also compares LaMelo to Anthony Davis and says it's the same problem that teams, because of the injury history and the games missed, teams are not going to want to give the Hornets what they want in return for LaMelo Ball, just like the Mavs. Teams are not going to want to give the Mavs what they want in return for Anthony Davis because teams don't want to pay a player who's not on the floor.
Clearly, he's a watcher of the Bulletin because these are the same points we were making.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the exact same point. And that's why we ultimately came to the conclusion, hey, just trade them for each other. Just
right. Do it. And you know what's funny is we had a Mavs fan in our comments that
there was actually several that they would do
that. LaMelo Ball for Anthony Davis. Let's go.
Yeah, I saw several of those. I thought it was pretty interesting. Yeah, like with LaMelo, like obviously he is an elite offensive talent. I think that's very clear. He looks like he's not taking the game seriously, but still stumbles into the offensive production that he does. I have concerns about the serious nature also, but just like the availability is ridiculous. Like he is always, quite literally always dealing with something. And I just don't know if you're a team trading for him, unless he magically is able to stay healthy for a prolonged period of time. I don't know if he's the right fit for you, right? And that's saying, again, that I do know he has, considering that he has all that talent as well. Like, that is the biggest problem. But I do think he would net more than AD would because of the age as well.
Yeah, I think the age factor looms large with LaMelo Ball. Charlotte does want, according to Jake Fisher, want to get a look at Ball, Knipple, who's been great for them. Brandon Miller, Grant Williams, Josh Green, those guys coming back once they return from injury. Saying surely that group wouldn't lose to a depleted Indiana and what became just the Pacers' second win of the season, right? All of the above is why Ball, like Morant and Young, is best described as an all-star caliber lead guard who's being monitored by various executives in the event that he eventually becomes gettable. It's too soon at this juncture to say much more. So it's too soon to say he's definitely getting moved, but it's also too soon to say he's not. Like, this is a situation to certainly keep an eye on. And just like John Morant, just like Trae Young, these guys could wind up. We could have a very, very busy trade deadline this year. You're talking with AD, LaMelo Ball, John Morant, Trae Young. The Kings apparently want to trade everybody. Like, there's a lot of names already popping up on the trade market right now. So we could have a very busy offseason, but it's just a little early for stuff to actually get done right now. We typically, the unofficial start to trade season is December 15th. With the number of names, though, that are out there already, I do wonder if we see early moves this year, just because there's a lot of pressure on these organizations to fix things, to improve things right now. And I do wonder if we see earlier moves rather than waiting all the way till February 5th.
Yeah, we just need to see a 5-team all-star trade. Just shift everybody around.
Anthony Davis for LaMelo Ball, for John Morant, for Trae Young, for Zach LaVine, all in one deal.
Just do it. Just whatever. Just wrap it all into one and get it done.
Just everybody slide down one chair.
Yeah.
Just everybody. Let's trade all these players. Take all these players that are in problematic situations, whether we want to put it on the player, the team, whatever, and let's just all shuffle them over one team and see if that fixes it.
Absolutely. I do think that there is some of this where that may wind up happening with some of these players where it's like, we'll just trade players for each other, because a lot of these guys are guards, and I think guard is the most saturated position in the NBA. It's kind of hard to say I'm going to trade for a Trae Young. And then for one, you'd have to give up, for the salary these guys are making, all of them, you're going to have to give up a good bit, but trade for a Trae or somebody and want to go through with that unless you're getting a meaningful upgrade. Right. And that position is so saturated, I think, in the NBA that it's really hard to pull that off, which is where AD is kind of like the odd man out in a good way, because he's at least a big, right? And I think he would have some of the most value among bigs on the market anyway. So,
but he's also the oldest of these guys that we're talking about,
and he's also been dealing with injuries too, right? So it's just a tricky market overall. But on the Hornets piece of it all, like, I can understand why they would want to see how they look. Really quick, two things. Firstly, it's really early, so I'm not passing any judgment, but we need to see Miller on the court. Like, he's obviously got the talent, but he's constantly dealing with injuries too.
Yeah.
And then secondly, is Khan just the rookie of the year at this point?
He might be. I mean,
I think we need to say more for Coop. I don't think he gets talked about enough in that.
Cooper Flag has done some really impressive things in the last stretch of games, and if he keeps doing this, honestly, he probably wins it. But he was considered to be the runaway pick, for Cooper for rookie of the year, and now it's very much like this is a legit race. But you look at the last, like, he had a couple of games ago, he had 29, 7, and 5 with 2 steals. Cooper Flag did. He's just so versatile. He could put what against Portland, 21, 8, and 5. He's averaging for the month of November, and he really has started coming on strong over the last couple of weeks. He's averaging for the month of November 17, 6, we'll call it 7, and 3. He's shooting 47% from the field, just 28% from 3, so that hurts a little bit. But the dude's putting up numbers, and I think he's starting to figure some things out. So I still, my suspicion is still the Cooper Flag by the end of the year when the dust settles gets it. But it is a real legitimate race now.
On Coop, really quick, like I said, I wanted to throw him out there because most of the time when we talk about this, it's Khan because he's coming on so hot and he deserves it. VJ especially came on really hot in the beginning of the season, and so I thought people were overlooking Coop. The Mavs have like the third or fourth defensive efficiency in the NBA, and Coop has been one of the main constants of that team. So I think that the sheer fact that they're as bad as they are, but they're still that great on defense, I think should be a feather in his cap too. Him and a couple of other guys like PJ and stuff like that.
For sure. By the way, Con for the month of November, 21 points, 6.6.
I know he's killing it.
Assists,
I know he's killing it,
49% from the field, 39% from three. And his last 3 games, he's put up 26, 28, and 24.
I know I understand if you choose Con. He's killing it, man.
He is. He's been very good.
Weren't the Lakers trying to get Con Knipple?
When?
I believe. What? No. I'm getting him confused with his teammate, aren't I? Kalkbrenner.
Oh, Ryan Kalkbrenner. Yeah, and he's been great for them.
He's been good in his own right.
Yeah, he's dealt with a little bit of an injury recently, but he's been. In fact, I think he has one of, if not the highest field goal percentage in the NBA right now.
Yeah, shame. But all that to say that Charlotte, regardless of LaMelo, but certainly with LaMelo, they've got some really talented pieces, man. They do. They just got to put it together the right way.
They have to figure it out. Is LaMelo Ball our guy or not?
Yeah.
Is he the guy or not? And then if not, you've got to be open to moving. But again, it becomes problematic. When are you going to get enough? But there's with Con, they've got something in Kalkbrenner. You've got Brandon Miller. Can he get healthy? Like, there is the foundation of something here for the first time, I think, in a while in Charlotte. But you got to answer the question, do we want LaMelo Ball to be that building block piece for us? And if not, then
Kalkbrenner shoots 80% from the field.
That's what I said. He's like the highest field goal percentage guy in the NBA right now, because it's all catch and dunk.
I'm sorry for cutting you off. That really caught me by surprise.
Right?
I think it was 80. I expected like 70, but 80, ridiculous.
It's insane. He's been great for them, and to find that in the second round. Whew,
oh man,
that's fantastic. All right, everybody, give us your thoughts in the comments section. Lauri Markkanen, should the Detroit Pistons make the leap and go after him? And then what do we think about LaMelo Ball and his future with the Hornets? Do the Hornets have a bright future without LaMelo? Should they try to move on from him, or should they keep him and build around a core of LaMelo, Con, Brandon Miller, and the rest of the crew? Give us your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to subscribe right here to the channel. Again, we want to hit 40K by 2026. Help us get there. Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, everybody. See you and stay safe.